Sometimes a cartoon character just makes a funny appearance. Sweet, innocent, even silly. But deep down, a god appears in front of you. Today, I'm going to tell you about one of the most interesting and perhaps the darkest characters in cartoon history. Pops. Regular Show's lovable, fragile, elderly character. But do we really know him? This is no ordinary cartoon character analysis. This is the story of a character who confronts the deeper he goes. Pops is a normal old man that the first regimes brought forth. He speaks with a British accent, is kind and loving to her request. We see him in flashy comic scenes, but there's never a sense that he really belongs there. His language, his clothes, his appearance, it's all from another era. Pops, who seems like a side character in Regular Show, is actually at the center of everything. Little signs are given from the first season. Some realities are twisted. In some scenes, there is evidence that time is slowing down. And why is that? Although the truth is not revealed until the last season, Pops is actually a being from another planet called Lolliland. If you want to know what Lolliland is the planet where Pops and his brother Anti-Pops were born in the Regular Show universe. Pops is father, a cosmic figure in charge of the order of the entire universe. And Pops is his heir. In fact, Pops' power is balanced by Anti-Pops the moment he is born. The two are like the yin and yang of the universe. In Chinese philosophy, yin and yang represent the opposite but complementary forces in the universe. One is dark and the other is light. One is immobile and the other is mobile. These two forces are not opposed to each other, but interdependent. True balance comes from the coexistence of these opposites. Just like Pops and Anti-Pops symbolize the balance in the universe. Pops, pure love, innocence, order. Anti-Pops, chaos, hatred, destruction. And every 1,000 years, these two forces face each other. One must destroy the other. Pops tries to escape this fate throughout the series because his nature is to love, not to destroy. But how deep this dark side really goes, let's explore it together. In episode 20 of Regular Show Season 8, it is revealed that Pops has gone through the same cycle many times in the past. Each time he fights the Anti-Pops, and the universe starts over. This is not just a war, but a cosmic curse. In Season 8, Episode 28, the battle between Pops and the Anti-Pops destroys everything in the universe. Everything drifts into the void. Pop's scream is more like the rebellion of a god than a child. In fact, we saw these clues much earlier, in episode 14 of season 5. When Pop says, "I've had this dream before," it shows that he exists in different realities, that he remembers old universes. In fact, Pop's power even breaks the laws of physics in the cartoon. For example, in some episodes he survives when he's about to die. In some episodes, time slows down around him. But despite all these powers, he is a peaceful character. Here's the darker point. Pops' most powerful weapon is not violence, it's forgiveness. And the price of that forgiveness is his death every time. In the finale, when he sacrifices himself by embracing the Anti-Pops, he saves the universe. But that sacrifice was actually the darkest choice to break a millennia-old curse. But perhaps the real question is, what did Pops really want? He was destined for war, but his nature was peace. It wasn't his strength that made him the one to save the universe. It was his acceptance of the burden he didn't choose, every time. Because he was not a born hero. No one told him to save the universe. But he faced the same end in every cycle, and every time, he chose sacrifice again. If you watch carefully, in some scenes you will notice a tiredness on Pops' face. Some resentment. Some acceptance. He was fighting not only the Anti-Pops, but the script that the universe had written for him. A being forced to play a role. But a god who does it without complaining. After all, true strength is sometimes just being able to carry on with a smile. The universe rewinds over and over again. But each time Pop starts over with the same innocence, as if nothing had happened. So maybe it wasn't his cosmic nature that made him strong, but his humanity. Because he loved and believed and forgave. And forgiveness is sometimes a much harder choice than fighting. For years we watched Pops as a funny character, but in the finale we realized he was the purest and perhaps the loneliest being in the universe. He was doomed to lose because he chose love. That's why I'm asking, was Pops really the strongest character in regular show, or the most tragic? If it wasn't for Pops, the universe would have been destroyed many times over. So today, we're making this video for him, because he's not just a character. He was perhaps one of the darkest characters in cartoon history. I put a lot of time and effort into making these videos. If you enjoy deep character analysis like this, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. And don't forget to comment which character you'd like to see in the next episode. Your support really means a lot. The world of cartoons hides much more than meets the eye. In the next video, we'll meet you with more secrets. I am Lauren.